Hello and welcome back. This is Grillenheimer. Trying to help out some of y'all trying to play the game solo, and you have seen a few of my videos where I do pit, a team versus another team trying to play the right way, and it's not always easy keeping up with all those abilities for two teams. Especially if you happen to use maybe combiner characters. It can be, as almost as many as 8 or 10 or 11 characters in total. Say you're pitting the constructicons versus the aerial bots or something like that. I mean, that's 11 different characters, 2 sides each. So I thought I would try something different. Yeah, I'm using the box with my camera to record. So, and this is okay. I tried this earlier and it seemed to be okay. And this is going to be a similar setup. And what I do is you try to pick a couple of characters, try to go by the star count as best as possible. 5, 10, 15, 20, 21. This is a deck that I've made previously, and I think, so that was a 21 star deck. Let's see, there's 1, 2, and I thought there was the Ultra Magnus gear in here. Ultra Magnus, the Magnus armor. I'm not seeing it though. Could have sworn it was in here. But, maybe not. But the point is that it's a different variation of the game. I don't know how well this is going to go over. I did try it earlier before with different characters with a similar setup. Well, let's see here. Okay, to make up for the missing stars, in case that card is not in there, and if you're playing solo, who's gonna check you? I mean, really. You've seen me do mistakes, and there's no one to play with to help keep me in check of mistakes, only myself. So here is 5, 10, 15, 20, 23 stars. And we saw at least 2 in the deck that I picked or made. You're going to use. Well, what we do, or what I try to do, is, Autobots versus Decepticons. It doesn't. You can have it any other way you want to. You can do whatever. Let's see here. 4, 6 is 10, 10, 18, and 7 and 25. This is 25. So I'm not too worried about stars, really. This is probably going to be a bigger challenge than anything. What you do is that I put these, I may end up having to pick up my camera and do this the old-fashioned way here in a minute, is that you put them in order. You're going to fight them one at a time with your group on the bottom as if you're playing normally from your side, but you're only fighting one Decepticon at a time. And fight, always have, don't go so much by stars, but by health. So Stormcloud is going to come first. When he's knocked out, it's going to be Chop Chop. And then when Chop Chop is going to be knocked out, it's going to be Bombshell. And then Barrage, because Barrage has a higher health than Bombshell. I'm not going completely by stars, but by their health. And then on top of that, when you are using your team, these are just close. When you're using your team, you do try to go by the abilities. Well, your opponents who you're defeating, you do not go by their abilities. If you're playing one character, what is the use of stealth? And if it flips into a weapon, which this guy doesn't, he's not a battle master, I guess you could put him on Chop Shop up next, but let's get into that. Let me do something different. Okay, and then there's your opponent's cards, your enemy battle cards, so to speak. They are not going to have an actual deck. I mean, they will, but what you want to do is say, okay, I have 4 characters here, which equal pretty much 25 stars. I'm not too worried about. You do see Bolt of Lightning. Yeah, there's a star card in here. Not a big deal. If you want the challenge, put it in there. If you don't, take it out. You know, like I said, who's going to check you? Well, since there's 4 characters here, the first time I tried this, I had 3 Decepticons or 3 opponents, and so I used. I had 6 weapons, 6 armors, and then about 7 actions. Well, since there's 4 characters here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weapons, 7 armors, and 8 actions. And it may end up coming down to maybe having to add 1 more. What do you see missing? Utilities. There's no utilities here. And then there's something else you should notice. There's no duplicates. So yes, you are making your opponents to fight, but you're making the challenge, so to speak. And so what you want to do is don't have any duplicate weapons, no duplicate armors, no utilities, and no duplicate actions. Now, yeah, this is bold 2 and this is bold 2. And so, yeah, they're going to give bold 2 to the enemy. Now, maybe you should just try to go through this quickly. Okay, and super quick, your opponent's battle cards or deck, excuse me. You're only going to have 25, and what I did was about 12 to 13, about 12, not quite half and half of orange and blue. It doesn't matter what they are. The first time I tried this, I had way too much white in there, and it was really just some sort of just a bunch of cards I picked up, and it was a deck of 40. And let's see here. Those are the action cards. Those are the weapons. Those are the armors. And you try to shuffle them as best you can, even though it's very, very few cards. You stack your enemy, Decepticons, Autobots, whatever. Like I said, in order on top, with the health, the lowest health being right on top. And these are just whatever. These are just for flipping, for attacking and defending those guys. So it's not anything you're really going to be keeping up with. So let's continue. Okay, hopefully my legs aren't in and feet aren't in the, well, there's my foot, sorry. Okay, here's sort of the play area. Like I said, you have your opponent's actions, weapons, armors, deck. You have your characters, you have their characters. This is your deck. And instead of doing 4 to start, I'd only draw 3. Okay, I got a surprise attack, battlefield scan, and blast shield. Now, not every card is going to be able to be utilized to its fullest degree, since you're not playing with another true team, so to speak. Because it comes down, you are the player. You're going to go first. So Brave and Stealth almost has no meaning here. So they're good throwaway cards when you're using the card with Starscream, inspirational, whatever, you can draw 3 and scrap 2. This could be one you can scrap. So having a super good deck is not a big deal. And we go back to our normal thing. You play an action, you play an upgrade. I'm going to go ahead. Well, let's just put it on Needler here and tap Needler. And I'm not going to do much of this. I'm just going to do just a little bit. And again, we're attacking Stormcloud, which, whoa, we need to do something. And you do it for... I'm sorry about the raw footage again. Their unprofessional look. Their weapon, their action, their armor. Alright. So, this is what they're going to come at you with in this mode. Let's go back to the beginning. Okay, we got Blast Shield on Needler. And we got Surprise Attack. Okay, and who are we attacking? We're attacking Stormcloud. So this is going to be Raider Needler's attack, which is good. We have an attack of 5 and a pierce of 3. Here's, whoa, his deck. And here's his defense, which is not much. The best thing he has is a force field. So we have an attack of, like we said, 3 plus 2 is 5. Minus 0, well, is 5. Because we didn't draw any blue. Well, we have a force field. So yeah, he gets knocked by 4. And then you create a scrap pile. Boom. Okay. So cards will be scrapped, and then when these parts gets put in the scrap, they become part of the deck as you whittle down your opponent. Okay, so we need to start our own. And in playing solo, or I've only tried this once. People, I tried this earlier today. Green, I would not worry about trying to swap a card for green. I guess you could. I guess I really could. And when, well, let's see here. What is this? Reactive armor. And this is scrap from a character, scrap an enemy armor. So I guess we could put it on crosshairs. We would just need to swap it with battlefield scan. But then now we have no cards. Okay, because we started with 3. We used an action and upgrade. We swapped the battlefield scan for the reactive armor. And we went ahead and already put it on crosshairs. Now, that's your opponent's turn. Well, yes, they have a deck, but they are not drawing cards. The deck is only there for them to attack and defend. Okay, so we attacked him in this mode. Well, it's his turn, so flip him. You always flip, no matter what happens. He has an attack of 3, but he still has a defense of 0. And so, yeah, Crew Club is still going to come into play with its ability, but not the character ability. So here's his 1, 2. We got the bold 2. Oh, gosh, this is going to hurt. And then white pip. Can you see that? Okay, so he has an attack of 3. He has 5, 7, and 1 for the upgrade. So he has a total attack of 8. So let's go down to us. Crosshairs. No. Needler's defending. Poor Needler's defending. 1, 2. Which I'm glad I put Blast Shield on him. And after he defends, we're going to have to scrap the card. Sorry, I couldn't read it through the camera. So what? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. So he's down by 3. So, okay. Scrap their cards. Scrap your cards. Now you get to draw. Okay. And if you're able to do this, you can do it. But right now, it's not a good time. So we would hold on to dual wield. And you know, if you want to make the rule that if you have no hand, draw a whole hand again or whatever, you can do that. Or draw 2 cards to always have something in your hand to be able to play. So yeah, I had no hand, so I draw 2 cards. So let's just put Piercing Blaster on Dazzle Strike over there. We'll keep dual wield to ourselves. We want Dazzle Strike in play to get knocked out, possibly, because you would still play the Battle Masters like they are. If he gets knocked out, he gets put on crosshairs. Simple as that. Just like the regular game. Or even Needler for that intention. So here's our turn again. Yeah, Dazzle Strike has Brave, but that just almost doesn't even matter anymore. Enemy characters can't be repaired. That's another thing, is when you are creating, their actions, their weapons, and their armors, don't let them use medic. Don't use repair cards for your enemy. You can use them to try to stay alive, but not for them. So yeah, it seems, well, but I want to be able to repair my enemy. Really? You're playing solo. Why would you want to repair your enemy? I mean, you want to try to go through the enemy, right? Okay. And then white. Pip. Dazzle Strike has an attack of 3 with a Pierce of 3. A total attack of 5. Storm Cloud is in alt mode. His defense 1, 2. But you can. Should we? Should he have an armor on? We could. We could pull an armor card to fill this slot. We could easily. You make the call. It's like, well, we have it. Let's do it. Let's give it to him. So he now has a defense of 2 and a defense of 3. And that's the whole point. You know, maybe we should, maybe a good rule of thumb for this kind of solo play is to have 2 cards or 2 weapons and 2 armors for each flip, for each side. Once they go out of those armors and weapons, you know, that's it. You can't put them on anymore. That's a way to do it. Okay, what did we say we had? We had an attack of 5, 5, 4, 3, 2. He's out. He was down by 4. He's down by 6. He's out. So he gets put off to the side, and all his upgrades and actions get put in the scrap. They all get scrapped. And guess who's up next? Chop Chop. All right. Well, then we need to put on his armor, his weapon, and his action. And use the KISS method. Keep it simple and stupid. What's a frag toss? It's a damage of 1. So he's going to damage one of your characters, and you get to pick the character. So let's pick Crosshairs. Let's just put it on Crosshairs for now. But for now, this stays on here. For now, this stays on here because he comes attacking in alt mode. They always attack first in alt mode. Let's see here. Yeah, that's right. And since we went last, we knocked one of them out. It's his turn. So here's his attack. 1, 2. And his body armor just happens to match his trait up there, melee. Just happens to. You know, I wouldn't put bank too much on the traits of your enemies, so to speak. You want to give them tough 3, give them tough 3. You want to give them tough 1, give them tough 1. They need some armor. Or you're just going to make it too easy on yourself. Okay, so he has an attack of what? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. An attack of 8. Oh, I didn't clean that down here. Okay, who does he want to attack? Well, let's go after Needler, because he only has 7 hit points left. Okay, here's his defense. He has 4 defense. 8 to 4 is 4. So let's get him down by 4. Again, I apologize for the camera work. Scrap your cards. Keep going. Draw a card. Armed Hovercraft. And if you want to keep with, on your side of things, with ranged, melee, idiomatical traits for your battle cards and upgrades, go for it. Because we're trying to play as normal as we can on our side. So with that in mind, let's actually put Armed Hovercraft on Needler. No. Yeah, let's try to keep it real. He's ranged for a ranged character, and which actually is going to do nothing but just do 1 chop. Well, so la-di-da. And something we have been forgetting to do over here is flipping our characters each turn. So flip your character. Doesn't matter. It's all going to come out in the wash. Someone's going to win. You're going to either win or you're either going to lose. He has 2 armor slots, but we don't have another armor. But we also have dual wield. So if you want to hoard your cards up and be able to have 2 armors on him and 2 weapons on him, hey, go for it. Because then you can have Needler, this, Armed Hovercraft, and Dazzle Strike on him. And all it takes is to hoard your cards out, wait for these 2 guys to get kicked off, use this action card when you want to, and it can all happen. Attacking Chop. It's not so good. But I do have an attack of 7 on Chop, who only has a defense of 2. You body armor, tough 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, crap. Now he has defense of 5. What did we say Crosshairs had? 6, 7. 7 to 5 is only 2. So, yeah, it might be a long game. It can be a quick game. You can use stronger characters. You can use your 2 tall groups against weak Decepticons, against 1 or 2 strong Decepticons, etc. You know, and play until it's over. See what happens. Okay. So Chop came in and attacked in alt mode. We flipped and attacked in this mode. Well, it's his turn. So we need to flip him. Crap. It's hard. I'm not left-handed. All right, nope, left-handed. I have no idea where my copy of The Princess Bride went. Really mad about that. Okay. And let's say he's going to attack. Heck, Needler only has 2 health. Let's have him attack Needler. 1, 2. Yeah, okay, and Frag Toss. we've already used. If he's flipped and it's used, then go ahead and just knock it out. Bolt of lightning, 3. Well, let's say that knocks Needler out. And so what do we want to do? We want to put this on crosshairs for sure. So just go ahead and scrap stuff. So then who is this for? Well, let's have it for crosshairs. I hope that's the hamster I'm hearing. Okie dokie. I'm sorry. I need to be cutting this quick, guys. I'm sorry. No, let's have him attack Dazzle Strike. 1, 2. I'm glad I did. Dazzle Strike has a defensive 2 now. Okay, so Chop Chop's attack is 4, 6, 7. 7 to a defensive 2 is 5. 1 and 5 is 6. Boom, he's always done. So, we would draw a card on this side. We have 2 cards in hand. Crushing Treads, right? There's no tank here, is there? Okay, and then we would probably go ahead and untap our 2 characters down here. Untap them. I'd flip crosshairs and attack with Dazzle Strike, because we want Dazzle Strike knocked out to be put on crosshairs. By the end of the game, whether you win or lose, this guy, or at least playing this way anyway, he's going to be decked out with both these guys. Well, let me just play this out. See, Dazzle Strike. Okay. He has a Pierce 3 on him. 1, 2. That's an attack of 4 Chop Chops. Defense. Oh, crap. Tough. 2, 3. And I mean, look at that. That's like a defense of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A defense of 8. But he has Pierce of 3. So yeah, that could make him go down to 6. But let's say, do we really want to do that? Maybe we should be changing our lineup with our enemy when they flip, to keep things fresh while we maintain our strategy on our side. You can just do whatever you want, to where they're trying to whittle you down, but you're trying to knock them out one at a time. So you're not having all the Decepticons attack you at one time. A different way of playing. So, just however you want to do it, I mean, he has 3 health left. Looking at how things are going, would I go through all these Decepticons with crosshairs? I don't know. But right now, he does have an attack of 5 to 7 with Armed Hovercraft on him, and Pierce of 3 with Needler in armor mode. So, who knows? It might go to my favor. It may not go to my favor. But, you can make your deck not so much tailored for that deck per se, but make it strong in a way where it's maybe fair isn't the right word, maybe balanced, to where you have about an even number of blues and oranges and maybe some white sprinkled in for double flipping. Like I said, we're trying to keep to the rule of the game on the solo side, but for the enemy side, it's a little different. and you know, you can do it in various ways. But I thought this was a neat way, because once you start looking at utilities, some of the utility actions or abilities are can be complicated when trying to play in this setup, because a lot of utilities are like affecting your other characters or your opponent's characters or your ability to draw or drawing more cards. Well, that's not what we're having this enemy do. They're not another player. So while they have a deck, the deck is only used for battling, not for drawing. So you don't need to have any draw power over here, no plan, no focus, no utilities, no brave, you know, none of that. Keep it simple, stupid. So it's just a different way to play. So, and I wish I had, if I thought about bringing the lamp in here to actually get a better vantage point, but if I do that, I'm talking real loud and I don't have a microphone. So, and everyone's in bed again. Well, my daughter's probably still awake. But, you know, I thought this would be a different way of trying to play. And who knows? You may lose every time. It looks like I'm losing right now, but this deck is not a very well-made deck. And this was just pulled from cards that, you know, that I had organized the other night for making decks, but I just was just trying to pull stuff just to throw for this demonstration. So that's all I have tonight. I thought I would show you a possible way to play solo, or a possible way to adjust this for playing solo, to where, again, like I said, you are trying to play about the right way on your side. No abilities on the cards on the other side, except for battle cards as upgrades in an attack, and keep the action attacks, the action cards simple, like I said. And it's a different way to play. I just thought about this today. I was working and was listening to some videos while I was working away, and I got to thinking, you know, I heard Dan talking about other ways on, you know, trying to play solo, and then I saw Jamie's video on about Octagon before it got pulled down for whatever, and I thought, maybe there is a way. There's got to be a way. These cards are so diverse that it even took us as players who were not familiar with card games to figure how to play this out. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time, and have a great night.